Come closer, my children. The night is old, and the moon has climbed high above the raffia trees. These are the hours when forgotten stories return from the land of spirits. You see that river beyond the forest. The elders say it remembers every tear that has ever fallen in love. This story happened many seasons ago, in the 1930s, when the ancient villages of Calabar still listened to the wisdom of drums, and every family guarded its honor like a sacred treasure. It is the story of two hearts that were born poor, and one destiny that refused to be bought with wealth. People still speak of them in whispers. Some say love made them brave. Others say fate destroyed them. But those who know the truth understand that the gods themselves stood silent as the events unfolded. What happened between those lovers changed two powerful families forever. And even today, no one can say whether love won or fate. The village of Abutong slept peacefully beneath the stars. Palm trees swayed gently as fishermen returned from the river with their catch. Roosters announced the arrival of dawn. Women swept their compounds. Children laughed as they chased one another through dusty paths. Among those children were two inseparable friends. A boy named Etim and a girl named Ikit. Neither of them came from wealth. Etim's father was a farmer whose hands were rough from years of working stubborn soil. His mother sold vegetables in the village market. Some days the family ate well. Other days they survived on little. Ikit's family was no different. Her father repaired fishing nets. Her mother made clay pots. They owned almost nothing. Yet they carried happiness wherever they went. Etim and Ikit grew up together. They fetched water from the same stream. They gathered firewood together. They climbed mango trees and shared whatever fruit they found. When Etim caught fish, he saved the biggest one for Ikit. When Ikit received food from her mother, she always shared half with him. The village often laughed whenever they saw them together. Those two are like twins, people would say. They will never separate. The children would blush and run away. But deep inside, neither of them wanted to be apart. Years passed. The children became teenagers. The friendship grew stronger. And with time, something else quietly began to grow. Something neither of them fully understood. One evening, after helping their parents in the farms, they sat beneath an old iroko tree overlooking the river. The sunset painted the water red and gold. For a long moment, neither spoke. The silence felt different, strange, powerful. Etim stared at the river. Then he spoke softly. Ikit, home. If one day I become successful, I will build the biggest house in this village. Ikit laughed. The biggest house? You. Why are you laughing? Because your father's goat is richer than you. Etim pretended to be offended. I am serious. She smiled. Then what will you do with this big house? Etim looked at her. His voice became gentle. You will live there with me. The smile disappeared from Ikit's face. The evening suddenly felt quiet. Even the birds seemed to stop singing. Their eyes met. For a moment, the world around them vanished. No river, no trees, no village. Only two hearts discovering a truth they had carried since childhood. Ekit lowered her gaze. A shy smile appeared. Then you must work very hard. Etim nodded. I will. Neither of them noticed an elderly woman passing nearby. She had heard everything. She watched them for several seconds. Then she shook her head slowly. Very slowly. The old woman whispered to herself, Poor children. The road ahead of them is filled with thorns. And she continued walking. Days became months. Months became years. Etim earned a reputation throughout the village. He was hardworking, intelligent, respectful. Whenever elders needed help, he volunteered. Whenever disputes arose among young men, he settled them peacefully. People admired him. Some even predicted he would become one of the most influential men in Calabar. But success often attracts attention. And attention sometimes awakens hidden plans. Unknown to Etim, powerful eyes had begun watching him. Across the village lived one of the wealthiest men in the region, Chief Asabong. His compound stretched across large portions of land. He owned farms, palm plantations, fishing boats, livestock. His wealth seemed endless. The chief had only one child, a daughter named Adiha. Beautiful, educated, and destined to inherit everything he owned. For many years, Chief Asabong shared an unbreakable friendship with another respected elder. That elder was none other than Etim's father, Abong Efian. They had grown up together, worked together, faced hardships together, and as age advanced upon them, they dreamed of turning friendship into family. One evening, while drinking palm wine beneath a moonlit sky, Chief Asabong spoke. My friend, we are growing old. Abong Efiam nodded. That is the way of life. The chief smiled. There is something I have considered for many years. What is it? Your son. Etim's father looked surprised. What about him? He is hardworking. Yes. He is intelligent. Yes. He is trustworthy. That is true. The chief leaned forward. Then let him marry my daughter. Silence. Even the night insects seemed to disappear. Abong Efiam stared at his friend. Chief Asabong continued. When I am gone, someone must protect my legacy. My daughter needs a husband who can manage everything I leave behind. I trust no one more than your son. Etim's father slowly placed his cup on the ground. His heart raced. Such a marriage would transform his family forever. Respect, influence, security, everything a poor man could dream of. The chief extended his hand. What do you say, old friend? A long silence followed. Then Abong Efiam smiled and shook his hand. Neither man knew that destiny had already chosen another path. A path hidden in shadows. A path that would soon awaken pain, betrayal, and a secret capable of destroying everything they planned. Children, there are promises made with the mouth, and there are promises made with the heart. The trouble begins when the two become enemies. The news of the proposed marriage spread quietly among the elders. Chief Asabong was pleased. Abong Efian was honored. Plans began to take shape. Only one person remained unaware: Etim. One afternoon, his father called him into the family compound. The old man sat beneath a palm tree. His expression was unusually serious. Etim immediately sensed something was wrong. "My son, sit." Etim obeyed. His father looked at him for several moments before speaking. "You have become a man." Etim nodded. "I have done my best." "You have." His father smiled. "You have brought honor to this family." Etim felt proud. Then came the words that changed everything. "I have arranged your marriage." The smile disappeared from Etim's face. The world suddenly felt still. "What marriage?" His father looked surprised. "To Chief Asabong's daughter." Silence. Etim stared at him. Certain he had misheard. "Adihar." "Yes." "No." His father's face hardened. "No. I cannot marry her." The old man's eyes narrowed. "And why not?" Etim swallowed. Because he already knew the answer would bring trouble. "I love someone else." The air grew heavy. His father rose slowly. "Who?" "Igit." The name exploded like thunder. Abong Ethium's expression darkened immediately. "The netmaker's daughter." "Yes." "You must forget her." "I cannot." "You will." "I cannot." The old man's hand slammed against a wooden stool. The sound echoed through the compound. "I have given my word." Etim stood. "And I have given my heart." Father and son stared at each other, neither willing to bend. For the first time in his life, Etim walked away from his father. That night, the village whispered. A storm was coming. A storm no one could stop. Meanwhile, Chief Asabong informed Adihar about the arrangement. Unlike everyone expected, she showed little excitement. She listened quietly, then asked one question. "Does Etim want this marriage?" The chief hesitated. "His opinion will change." Adihar lowered her gaze. Something about the answer disturbed her. Deep inside, she felt an uneasiness she could not explain. And far away beneath the old Iroko tree, Ikit learned the truth. Her heart shattered. Tears rolled down her cheeks. "You promised we would never be separated." Etim held her trembling hands. "I still promise. But your father has already chosen. They cannot choose my heart." The words sounded brave. Yet both knew the battle ahead was much larger than them. Much larger than love. Weeks passed. Pressure surrounded Etim from every direction. His relatives begged him. Village elders advised him. His mother cried. His father refused to speak to him. Yet Etim remained firm. Then strange things began happening. One morning, crops on Ikit's family farm were mysteriously destroyed. Another day, fishing nets belonging to her father vanished. Their family slipped deeper into poverty. People began talking. Whispers spread. Some believed the ancestors were angry. Others suspected human hands. But no one knew the truth. One evening, Etim followed a suspicious figure into the forest. The moonlight revealed something shocking. The figure entered a hidden clearing. There stood several men. Among them was Chief Asabong's trusted servant. Etim crouched behind bushes, listening. The servant spoke. The girl's family must leave the village. One man nodded. The chief ordered it. No. Then who? The servant smiled. The father of the groom. Etim froze. His own father. His chest tightened. The world spun around him. The attacks on Ikit's family were not accidents. Someone was deliberately destroying them. And that someone was his father. Etim returned home before dawn. Anger burned inside him. When he confronted his father, the old man showed no remorse. I did what was necessary. You ruined innocent people. I protected your future. You destroyed lives. His father pointed toward the chief's compound. That marriage will lift generations of this family from poverty? Etim shook his head. What is wealth if it is built upon suffering? For a moment, something unusual flashed across the old man's face. Fear? Not anger. Fear. As if he knew something Etim did not. Before Etim could ask another question, his father whispered, "If you knew the truth, you would thank me." Then he walked away, leaving Etim trapped inside a mystery. What truth? What secret? And why was everyone hiding it? Children. Some secrets sleep quietly for years, until fate wakes them. One rainy evening, an elderly woman arrived in the village. The same woman who had once seen Etim and Ikit beneath the Iroko tree. She requested to see Etim immediately. The old woman spoke with urgency. "There is something you must know." Etim listened carefully. The woman took a deep breath, then revealed a secret buried for nearly 20 years. Long ago, before Etim was born, a terrible flood struck neighboring villages. Many families lost children. Among them was Chief Asabong. His infant son disappeared. The child was never found. The chief believed the boy had died. Years later, another family mysteriously found a baby near the river. That baby became Etim. Shock froze his body. The old woman continued, "I was there. I saw everything. Your parents adopted you." The world collapsed around him. His knees weakened. His breath became shallow. Then came the final revelation. You are Chief Asabong's lost son. Silence. Absolute silence. Etim could barely think. The old woman lowered her head. "If you marry Adihar, she will be your sister." The truth struck like lightning. Every piece of the puzzle suddenly connected. His father's fear, his desperation, his silence. The old man had known all along. That was why he opposed Ikit's family. That was why he wanted the marriage stopped without revealing the secret. He had been protecting everyone. Yet his methods had caused immense pain. Etim ran through the night. Rain poured heavily. He reached Chief Asabong's compound. The chief listened, then collapsed to his knees. Tears flowed from eyes that had not cried in decades. "My son." The powerful chief wept openly. Years of grief shattered in a single moment. And as father and son embraced, a new problem emerged. Would the village believe them? Or would they think it was a lie created to escape the marriage? The entire village gathered. Elders, chiefs, families, witnesses. Everyone listened as the old woman told her story. Evidence from the past was presented. Long forgotten marks, memories, hidden truths. By sunset, the verdict was clear. Adam truly was Chief Azabong's lost son. Gasps echoed throughout the gathering. The marriage arrangement was immediately canceled. Adiaha sat quietly. Then she smiled. Not with sadness, with relief. Because deep inside, she had never wanted a husband whose heart belonged elsewhere. She walked toward Ikaet. The crowd watched nervously. Nobody knew what would happen. Then Adiaha took Ikaet's hand. He always loved you. Tears filled Ikaet's eyes. And you deserve him. The village fell silent. Even the elders were moved. Chief Azabong stood before everyone. His voice carried authority. I almost lost my son twice. Once to the river, and once to pride. He turned toward Ikaet's family, then did something nobody expected. He apologized publicly. The wealthy chief bowed his head before poor villagers. Many people cried, including Adam's father. For years he had carried a burden he could never explain. Now the truth was finally free. Months later, the village celebrated. Not a marriage arranged by wealth, not a marriage arranged by status, but a marriage chosen by love. Drums echoed through the night. Dancers filled the village square. Songs rose into the sky. And beneath the same Morocco tree where everything began, Adam and Ikaet became husband and wife. The old narrator smiled at his grandchildren. The fire crackled softly. The lesson, my children. Sometimes fate closes one road to protect you from a greater disaster. Sometimes what looks like rejection is actually protection. And sometimes, he gazed toward the moon. The heart sees what wealth can never buy. The children sat quietly, thinking about the story. Thinking about love, thinking about fate, and somewhere beyond the ancient forests of Calabar, the river continued flowing, carrying the memory of two lovers whose destiny refused to be sold.